What is up techies, Vicky from the Elementon back with another video, and this is my explanation about the kilo core. So if you're one of those tech enthusiasts, you would have known by now what is a core. But for those who doesn't know, a core is a processor, that silver square chip which you would see on your motherboard. It has millions of transistors, each capable of working together to do the job for which the CPU was made. A CPU should have some motivator to do its job, right? That's why we have a clock pulse. A clock is a timing circuit which is capable of sending out pulses at regular intervals of time. Yes, similar to an oscillator but on a large scale. It is capable of sending out millions of pulses per second. When you're into buying a new workstation, you basically see this information on the spec sheet, like 1.6 GHz. What does that mean? It means the clock generates 1600 billions of clock cycles per second. This is similar to the refresh rates which you see on your display units. For every clock pulse, the CPU jumps on to the next instructions, thereby eventually completing the entire tasks. A single core has certain drawbacks, like it can complete only one task at a time. Though accompanied by hefty RAMs and large graphic card, a single core handling the entire system is like asking a person to do multiple jobs just because you're giving him a lot of resources. Poor comparison. Anyways, so what the members at Intel have done is they cut the core right in the middle and later connected them by wires, and now you have a dual core. So what the dual core does is it splits the work into two processes. Suppose say you want your PC to download a software at the same time playing your favorite music at the background. So what the dual core does is it gives one of its core to perform the downloading process while the other core to play the music. And now you have two processes running at the same time. Brilliant, right? This similar method is used in all kinds of processors except that you have different number of cores. Now, not to be on Johnny Rain clouds, because we have a problem here, gentlemen. In order for the processor to perform, it consumes some juice from the power supply. Remember the clock pulse which I mentioned earlier in this video? Yep. So whenever a clock pulse arrives, it eats up some power. Suppose say you have a quad core, 4 cores obviously. The first 3 cores of the processor has completed their task, but the last core is still yet to complete. But the clock circuit still ends up sending out pulses for all the 4 circuits. This literally means there is a wastage of power there. Not good. So this brings us to the topic of the day, kilo core. So the members at UC Davis has came up with a massive, guess what, 1000 core processor. You heard me? 1000 core processor. So a single processor is divided into 1000 core. So eventually the processor can execute thousands of instructions simultaneously. So the kilo core has the ability of executing 1.78 trillions of instructions per second. So this becomes the world's first processor to execute 1000 instructions simultaneously, while others still hang up with 300 processors till now. There are few facts which make the kilo core stand out of the crowd. Number 1. The kilo core was fabricated by IBM using the 32 nanometer CMOS technology. Number 2. Each core in the processor performs independently, transferring the information between each other rather than processing the information and then dropping them in the memory and then collecting them back and then combining them and later reproducing the data. Number 3. Each core is independently clocked. So if a core completes its job, the clock pulse given is removed. So eventually that particular core is dead temporarily. So the power consumed by the core is null. Researchers at the university claim that the kilo core consumes 0.7 watts of power. That's equivalent to a AA battery. Okay, so the applications of kilo core include wireless coding and decoding, video processing, encryption, and other involving large amounts of parallel data such as scientific data applications and data center record processing. So that's basically it, my let me explain video of the kilo core. If you are enlightened by the video, then hit that like button. Any questions, comment them below. Be sure to subscribe to know more about tech, and I'll see you soon.